Hello, children. How are you today? I hope you're fine. I'm sure you're doing well. All right. I want to welcome you to music class today. This is a basic took work for this week. All right. Today we shall be looking at the topic that says brief history of Mozart. Brief history of Mozart. Mozart happened to be one of the very wonderful composers of old time, and people are still studying about the man till now. So at the end of this lesson, I expect you pupils to be able to say where Mozart was born. You should be able to tell me where Mozart was born because it's going to be part of what we are going to learn today. And secondly, to be able to say when he was born. When he was born. Then lastly, you should be able to mention some of his musical compositions, some of his musical works. So sit and relax, concentrate and get the right material as we go into the lesson proper. All right. Brief history on Mozart. Mozart was born between, at least everything he did was between 1756 to 1791. Now, let us learn more about the history as far as Mozart is concerned. Mozart was a great music composer and performer who lived in the 18th century. He lived in the 18th century. Mind you, we're in the 21st century. So if you look at before 21st century, we had 20th century. Before 20th century, we had 19th century. And before 19th century, we had 18th century. So you're talking about someone that was born way back, 3 centuries back. That is about 300 years ago. That's serious. He was born about 300 years ago. So he lived in the 18th century. He was born in a town called Salzburg in Austria. Salzburg is a town in Austria. Austria is in Europe, very close to Germany. So it was in the year 1756. So if I ask an exam, in what year was Mozart born? Mozart was born in the year 1756. And his full name was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. I often ask this question in exam as well. What was the full name of Mozart? His full name was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So he was the world's most famous music prodigal. Take note of this very well. Music prodigal, music prodigal, music prodigal. Now, who is a music prodigal? When we say someone is a music prodigal, who is a music prodigal? A music prodigal is a child born with an extraordinary talent. Do we still have prodigal nowadays? That question I leave it for you to answer. Make your research. Children who are born with extraordinary talents, they are referred to as prodigal. So Mozart was a music prodigal. It might be in all the things. It might be in artwork. It might be in engineering, mechanical, whatever. But as far as music is concerned, Mozart can be referred to as a prodigal because he was born with an extraordinary talent. How? Let us see. Mozart's father's name was Leopold Mozart. The father's name was Leopold Mozart. His father was also a musician, and he was the one who gave Wolfgang, his son, his first music lesson. Can you see how wonderful that is? His father, being a musician, so was the one that gave Mozart his first music lesson. Just like me now, I'm into music. Then I assume I put my children together, maybe about one or two of them. I taught them how to play one or two instruments. It will be recorded in history. If history picks my exploit after some years, it will be recorded that I was the first one who taught my children. Of course, I was the first one that taught my children to play some instrument, keyboard and recorder. My children play recorder very well. So history will record that I was the one who gave my children first music lesson. Can you imagine that? So the same thing happened to Mozart. His father was the one who gave him his first music lesson. And it might not be music, it might be artwork, It might be mathematics or science or computer or whatever. Maybe your father is a mathematician, and he decided to teach you, build you up, and you also eventually become a very good mathematician or computer, or maybe other handwork, maybe craft. It could be anything. So they will say it runs in the blood. Yeah, like a father who is a medical doctor, and one of the children too ended up becoming a medical doctor and working in the father hospital. Imagine you would discover that it's the father probably that mentored his child to eventually become a medical doctor. So it can be in any field of life. But in the case of music, Mozart's father, called Leopold Mozart, was the first one who taught Mozart his first music lesson. His father gave him his first music lesson. Then, at the age of 5, he could already play violin, organ, and harpsichord. Can you imagine that? A 5-year-old child was able to play 3 instruments: violin, organ, and harpsichord. Wow, 5 years old. Do we still have such in this our present world? A 5-year-old child, probably a child in nursery 1 or nursery 2, already play violin, play organ, play harpsichord. Ah, that's a very wonderful thing. No wonder he was referred to as a music prodigal, because he possessed an extraordinary musical talent. So that's the reason why he was referred to as a music prodigy. And Mozart traveled to so many countries such as England, France, Italy, and so on and so forth to perform his musical works. Oh my God, this man did not come to Nigeria. Oh, not even Lagos. Was Lagos even created at that time? No African country was mentioned. Oh, I wish he came to Nigeria and came to Lagos, probably to Sacred Heart, to play music with Mr. Kweji or some of you. I'm only kidding. I'm only trying to make you laugh a little bit. I don't even know if Lagos or Nigeria was created at that time. But history had it that Mozart would travel to some countries like England, France, Italy to perform his musical work. He didn't come to Nigeria. He didn't come to Apapa so that you won't put that one as your answer in the exam. So he didn't come to Nigeria. So, all right, let's go to the next slide. Let's check some of his musical works. So Mozart's musical works include about 4 of them. The first one was symphony. Symphony. Take note of that. The first one was symphony. The second one was opera. Opera. The third one was concerto. Concerto. And the fourth one was sonata. Sonata. Those were the kind of music that Mozart composed during his time. So that's wonderful. Do we still have such music nowadays? I don't think so. What we have nowadays, high life, Fuji, hip hop, Afro, jazz, blues. As time changes, so likewise, the style of music changes as well. So that's about Mozart. So Mozart married Constance Weber, and he died at the age of 35 in the year 1791. It's very, very important. I can ask you an exam that did Mozart marry? Tell me yes. Can go in the next question, maybe in theory. Name Mozart's wife, or who was Mozart's wife? You tell me Constance Weber. And I can ask you, at what age did Mozart die? So Mozart died at the age of 35. I can ask you, which year did he die? 1791. These are kind of questions you come across in your exam. So he was born in a town called Salzburg in Austria. He was born in the year that's 1756, and he died in the year that's 1791. So I can tell he lived for 17 years. You can even make reference back to our earlier, what do you call it, slides. You can see he was born in the year 1756. 1756. When was Mozart born? Mozart was born in the year 1756. Where was he born? He was born in a town called Salzburg in Austria. You get it now? I'm going to ask you at what age did he die? He died at the age of the year 1791. So these are very important questions you are expected to know. So before we say our bye today, your assignment will be found in your music textbook, Music Made Easy, Book 2, pages 59 and 60. You do numbers A to J. And when you are done, submit to me on WhatsApp for marking and proper recording. So till I come your way next week, stay safe, enjoy yourself, and be good. All right?